it's time to introduce the most anticipated guest we've ever had. He's a guy that I've known for a while. He's a great young bowler. He's been Darryl's test subject in the coaching department, I suppose we could say that. It's Owen Kirby. Owen, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. So usually I like to start off the interview with just like a pretty simple question, and who is Owen Kirby today?
Owen Kirby is a 21-year-old student who is looking to hopefully graduate from his post-grad program, and is missing bowls and can't wait to get bowling again. That's about it.
Perfect. Owen, I mean, we've known each other for quite some time. You were one of my first real coaching subjects when I was starting coaching and doing all that kind of stuff. I wanted to ask you, as a young person, what got you into bowls? Why did you start bowling?
Well, it was in 2011. I went with my family to go see my uncle. He was playing in the Nationals in Willowdale. And he got me out on the green and I rolled a few bowls. And the next year, 2012, my dad thought it was a good idea to go to Kitchener Lawn Bowling Club to maybe give it a try. And at first, I wasn't really looking forward to it. I was kind of dreading it, but it was good. It was a good experience, and great people to introduce you to the game. I had like Josh Cameron and Mike McNorton, so they made it really fun. And they kept telling me I need to come back and convince my family to come and everything. So that made me keep coming back, and then they would take me out to tournaments with me and my dad. I think Josh Cameron took us out on our first tournament to Paris, Ontario. So, yeah, just a lot of people helping us get into the sport and giving us that push.
So you said you dreaded it a little bit when you first started. What about the game kept you in it? Like, what made you keep coming back?
I think at first it was definitely the people around you. Josh Cameron and Mike McNorton, they became like friends. So did a lot of the other bowlers at Kitchener. And then even just going to tournaments and meeting new people. So that was really good. It was good for me to get out and talk to people as well, because I have a very bad social anxiety. So that was really good to get out and practice talking to people. And it was good to have fun bowling as well. At first, it wasn't really the competitive stuff until I think like 2013 was when I realized that it could be competitive. But yeah.
We've talked to a few, I guess, younger people and people that have come up in bowls before, and you make a really good point that it's not necessarily the sport itself that brings the young people out. It's the other people around that really make a difference. How you talked about Josh and Mike, that group at Kitchener Lawn Bowling Club. For those that don't know, Kitchener Lawn Bowling Club is a really struggling club right now. They don't have a lot of members, but at one time it was like the place for all the youth bowlers in the area. A lot of great bowlers came out of there. What was it about that group and about those two individuals, Josh and Mike, that really kept you coming back?
I think it was just how fun they made the game. They'd be running up and down the green and yelling at each other and joking around constantly. So that really helped. And then just the different kinds of people that you see there. I think it was the young people that intrigued me at the time because I was a lot younger and I wasn't looking forward to it because it's like, this isn't something you really want to go to school and tell people that you did. But they they made it a little easier for that for me to explain it to my friends at school and such. So
I understand what you say about you didn't want to tell people in school. Like we were similar ages when we started in the sport, and I had similar experiences. Did you ever go through anything where maybe someone at school or someone that you knew made a comment about it, like almost like bullied you in a sense about playing lawn bowls?
I wouldn't say they bullied me about it. I had a lot of people teasing me and bugging me about it constantly, mostly my friends, because I did tell a few. And then the word spread really quick through my friends, so everybody knew I was the bowler. But no, after a while, I got kind of used to it. It doesn't really bother me that much. I'm very proud of it. I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. It's just, I guess, the mind of younger people. People are just not used to seeing it, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of young people can probably relate. Like I said, my experiences were similar. I'm sure Darryl, when he first got into the sport, had similar experiences, and it is relatively shocking how well people receive it sometimes. Like you said, people like tease, and obviously some people are more negative towards it than others. But I always thought that it was pretty open. I mean, especially once you started winning stuff too. I feel like people usually start to frig off, if you will, when they realize it's a real thing.
From Owen's point, the people around him kept him in the game, and I think that's a really key point for all you people out there that are either running club programs, trying to get youth and younger people into the game. It's not about getting the one or two; it's about getting that group that can actually play together, be together, connect. Because they often can't connect as closely to their coaches or the people showing them the game as they can to other people and have that fun playing the game. I know at Heritage, when we were starting out trying to do a junior program, it was looking at Kitchener with the Owens and the Mikes and the Joshes and the Caitlins and trying to figure out what do they have there that keeps drawing people in? What are they doing that we can kind of, I guess, quote unquote, steal from that'll attract these players? Because a lot of them have become excellent bowlers. You've got Owen here, who's part of the national program. Mike McNorton's part of the national program. Josh and Caitlin have won numerous things as well. So it's really, really cool to see all these people that I know. Owen, there's pictures of you when we started that you're probably half my height. And here you are now having won, youth championships, and I've traveled all over the place. It's amazing to see.
What are some of your favorite memories, Owen, over the course of your Bulls career?
I would say probably my favorite memory is in 2017 when I won my first junior title. I had my coach Darryl there to present the trophy with me, and that was just nice to hold it there with him and get a picture taken and have him watch me play in a competition like this, because I think that was the first time he actually got to watch me play in a singles competition. I would always have to go home and try and explain everything and what happened and remember a ton of ends that I wanted to ask him questions about, but having him there to go and talk to after a game or something, or get an opinion on a bowl, maybe if he saw it. So that was really good.
Speaking of that, how was it winning your first title? I know you had played in a number of competitions, had come pretty close a couple of times, and then to finally break through and get that big win. What was that feeling like?
It was really it was a really good feeling. I felt really accomplished. I felt like I really worked hard for it as well. I was practicing a lot in 2017 and 16 and 15. But yeah, no, it was just it felt really good because I had a lot of close games. Even just last year, I had a really good game against Brandon Watson. It was like we were just trading shot for shot, and he didn't want to miss once, and I was kind of hoping to capitalize on him missing one shot, but he just decided to keep making shots, and it kind of got on my nerves a little, but yeah, so it felt really good, especially after a lot of close calls. Yeah.
I know I've been able to see you through the sport ever since you started. I've always been around. And Darryl and I have talked about it a lot. I was just curious on your thoughts on like the mental side of bowls as opposed to the physical side.
I think the mental side of bowls is more important. I think you need to be in the right frame of mind and know what you're doing. I heard somewhere before, I heard someone talking about what's the difference between a great talent and a great player. And I thought that was just interesting to eavesdrop in and listen to. I don't remember who it was. I think it was a club bowler at Heritage. And but it was just interesting to listen to, because I do think you can have a great talent, but you need the knowledge of the game, and you need to understand teammates and have discipline to be a great player. So I do think it's mentality has more to do with it than the physical side.
I don't think I could have said it better myself. That's an excellent way to put it, Owen. For you, how has the training side been? I know you said you trained 2015, 2016, and came really, really close a bunch of times, finally breaking through. And now you're in the national program. You've gone overseas. Has the training changed at all, or what are you doing? Not necessarily during the pandemic, but when you were actually training, what kind of stuff were you working on?
I was working on it's all different. So like the early stages, I would say probably 2015, 2016, I was working on jack throwing because that was a real struggle of mine. I could not get the jack to where I wanted. And I think a really big thing I keep working on year after year is long jacks. I tend to keep going and playing short whenever I'm in any competition, whether that's fours or singles. So just breaking that habit and getting comfortable playing other lengths is really important. COVID kind of killed everything, so I'm not really doing any training right now, but I do roll bowls in my basement a little bit to keep my release form good. But yeah, training has been good. It's a different thing every year. I find I'm sometimes not working on the same things, and coaches like yourself really help with pointing out weaknesses and or strengths that you can improve on even. So
What do you think was the biggest factor from you going and being, let's just call it mildly successful and being close, like you had said, to being the championship caliber player that you became?
I think so. What got me there?
Yeah, like what was the biggest factor that kind of got you over that hump?
I think definitely Darryl and him pushing me and trying to, get me to have discipline and go out and try and be consistent. He would always preach consistency, especially when he first started coaching. That was a word I heard a lot, consistency, because I'd have a great game and then I'd, not be within 5 feet for like 3 ends. So it's like, whew. But yeah, definitely having a coach to push you and support from family, like my parents, my uncle, friends, friends in the bowling community and such.
I know that everybody at Heritage and everybody at Kitchener and all those people around you speak very highly of you and talk about all the great stuff that you're doing. But you just talked about having, your dad and your uncle out there. What has your dad meant to you as far as your bowling career and where you are now?
He's meant so much. He's been there every step of the way since I began, and I would almost say, he's the reason I went out to bowl. It was kind of supposed to be like a bonding experience. I didn't think it would turn into what it is today at all. But that was the main goal of going out, was to bond with him. So just having him in my corner in the back in 2017, clapping in the back, and I'd be like, "Oh, Dad, stop, go away, go over to the side." But yeah, he can be embarrassing at times, but he's a really good dad, and he really supports everything I do, and I really appreciate it. So,
Shout out, Paul.
So, Owen, you were talking about family and how that has brought you into the game. I just had a question on what has it been like playing with your dad? So I know he's been a support, been there in the background cheering you on and bringing you right through bowls. But what has it actually been like playing with him on the same team?
It's been an experience. It's fun. It can be annoying at times playing with your father, especially when you guys butt heads about every single bowl. It was nice. It was good bonding. I found we played best when we didn't speak that much to each other. We just kind of said, "Yep, I'm gonna play this." Okay. So yeah. That was definitely a good experience. We did do well a few times too. I know we made it out of districts, which kind of surprised me the one time. That was a good accomplishment. And then we went to the provincials, and I remember we just got absolutely crushed every game. And we played like Kevin Jones and James Cavell, and yeah, that did not go well. And then we played Don Coswell and Bob North, and that was even worse. I think they like almost stomped us. I know Don reminds me of it almost every time I see him, so.
Does sound like something that Don would do.
Yeah. Has to let everybody know around him too that he stomped me and my dad. Yeah.
Of course. So speaking of that, you've been all over the place. What was your first international event like? How did you feel going into that big of an event?
My first international event, I believe, was NAC 2016, and that was in Vancouver. And I felt really actually comfortable going into that event. I thought I was going to be really anxious, but I actually felt really comfortable having people like you guys, and my dad was there as well, and just a lot of juniors and like bowlers that I'm really comfortable around. That's where I met Chris Stadnick as well, and he made it really easy to bowl with him. He was like really easygoing, easy to talk to. So yeah, no, that actually really felt really good. That was a good international debut.
I had a lot of fun at that. I was actually still playing at the time, believe it or not. Luke was there as well. It was. I don't think people understand the importance of an event like the NAC, where everybody gets to play together. It might not be the Worlds or the Commonwealth Games. It's U.S. versus Canada, but for both countries, it can be a huge stepping stone for people trying to get on the national team and just to understand what international competition is about. what was it like playing with some of the people that you possibly have looked up to for quite some time?
It was really good. I also met a lot of people, but just to bowl with your coach is really nice. We always didn't really get the opportunity early on, especially in 2016. I think OPL was just starting. So we didn't really get to bowl that often, but I got to bowl with people. I think our fours team was like Rob Law, yourself, Chris, and myself on that team. And it felt like such a good dynamic. Everybody was laughing, communicating well, focused. It was just an all-around good experience.
I always liked the NAC because, like yourself, I think it was my first international event as well. Was that same one? And it's interesting to like maybe some of the older guys that might not be quite as serious, and they might not take it quite as serious as some of the younger people. But it's cool because it's a good step from going from like national bowls and being able to be at that high level like seriousness where like you want to win every game, you're representing your country, and at least you have like a good group of people that are with you. Like I know like my first outside of that, my first international event was a singles event, and that's really, really hard for a young person to just jump into this game of singles all by yourself. There's a couple people there with you, but I mean, like worst case scenario, it's you, a female athlete, and a coach. So there's not a whole lot of people there that are there to support you. So I think NAC is really good for stuff like that.
So I've got a question for you, Owen. I know that you and Luke played together over in Wales as well. What's Luke like to play with?
Terrible.
No, Luke's good to play with. He knows how to calm his teammate down, especially when they might be really anxious or not bowling well. They might be down. He can really pick a player up in situations like that, and that can really have an impact on the game. Of course, morale is important as well, and he really boosts that. I think we even bowled against Aaron Wilson and Jesse, someone from Australia, and yeah, that was probably my favorite game with Luke. That was like really it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was the greens weren't too bad. They were extremely fast. And we were actually I think we were winning at one point, right, Luke?
I believe we were leading for the first 12 or 14 ends.
Yeah.
And then there was the fatal end where Aaron Wilson threw a drive and took all of our balls off the green.
Yeah.
And we never came back. But it was awesome. That's a game that I'll probably never forget. That's probably one of my favorite games I've ever played, even though we lost.
Agreed.
Go ahead, Darryl. Go ahead, Luke.
Oh, I was just going to say on the flip side, what's Darryl like to play with?
Oh, crap.
What's Darryl like to play with? Darryl is very intense. He's also very good at picking a player up and giving confidence to. It's always good to bowl with your coach as well. I think we bowled in OPL a lot, actually. And that's always a good experience. I get really serious when we play in the OPL. I love that competition. So, yeah, Darryl's always good to bowl with. And I think Darryl can bowl with almost anyone and be comfortable or make them comfortable as well. So,
shout out Darryl.
So you just mentioned OPL a couple times. For those that don't know, OPL is the Ontario Premier League. It was started up by Ian Howard, who we've had on the show before, and Mike Bester, who's the brother of Ryan Bester. The OPL is kind of modeled after something like BPL, Bowls Premier League, over in Australia. We wanted to bring something to Canada to offer like inter-club, inter-team competition. and we started it up in Ontario, which is the province that we're from. So my question to you, Owen, is, do you think, obviously you think OPL has been a good thing because you enjoy it. What has OPL offered you that isn't really out there right now in Canadian bowls?
It offers you a different type of game. I believe it's like 8 ends. And just, it feels like you almost have like a starting lineup. You're choosing who plays who. There's a lot more thought that goes into it, like who plays against who, especially when you know the other team and who's on it and who usually plays what. I think it's a really good experience. You get around, you meet more people, and the Bowls is really competitive. I know we have 2 heritage teams now, and I like to call it the heritage versus heritage derby. 2 heritages battling it out. I don't think the other team really liked it. I kind of called them Heritage B and said we're Heritage A since we were formed first. So, but yeah, that gets really competitive. A little bit of trash talking. But yeah, I get really hyped up for those games just because the table format and stuff like that. So.
So you play in a lot of tournaments and stuff. Oh, and I guess we asked this to everybody. What are you really missing that you didn't get to play this year that you were looking forward to?
Definitely fours, provincial fours. I was really looking forward to that. I was gonna actually be in school during the summer, and I already made plans too with my professors and stuff to have availability during the fours, so that was a little bit of a letdown. Yeah, I was really looking forward to it, especially since that's probably one of my biggest letdowns was the one year that we came in 3rd. I was just totally devastated after that. But yeah, that's probably the one thing I was really looking forward to.
So that big letdown, which obviously all 3 of us were part of, did that drive you to really want to work at it and get back there and I guess right that wrong, in lack of a better term?
Of course. I wanted to I wanted to go to my first nationals that isn't the juniors really badly, and yeah, it definitely made me have a drive, not just to beat the people that beat us, but to get first or second and qualify, preferably first, and qualify for the nationals and work hard. I was ready to train really hard for that as well. So, yeah.
Life goes on, I suppose, Owen. We always have next year. Do you want to do some photos, Darryl?
I don't have photos today.
No photos today.
No, I really wanted to chat with Owen and to get his perspective on stuff. Owen, you've been an awesome guest. Sorry for the little hiccup in between, and the fact that this is recorded and being posted. But we appreciate your patience. We appreciate you giving us your insight. We hope that you'll come back and be a guest again, and hopefully we can get you and a bunch of young people on the After Dark. I think that's something that'd be really excellent.
I agree.
You'll have to give us your list of top 5 people, and we can build the Owen Kirby cast.
Ooh, top 5 people. Okay, I'll make sure I make that.
Perfect.
Luke, any more questions for Owen?
I just wanted to say, actually, I guess this is I think we've talked to Rob about this in the past, and I am kind of curious because I never went through this other than with high school. What is it like trying to balance like your bowls? Because it's pretty time consuming in the summertime, and I know sometimes you have school going on around the same time. Like, what is it like to balance the two?
It can be really difficult at times. I know when I went out to California for the NAC, I was missing school, and probably the most important, it was right in the middle, right after reading week, and yeah, it was a struggle to catch up after. I brought my laptop. I tried keeping up, but not being in class and stuff, you miss important announcements and such. So, but I feel like this summer would have been difficult as well, balancing bowls and such. That's why I planned ahead, and I reached out to the program coordinators and tried to get a schedule that I could work and explain to them when I'm going to be gone. So yeah.
I think it's tough for anybody. I've being a coach of younger people and having them go say to the World Championships in Australia when that was on, working with them to find a schedule, to give them all the prep work and all that kind of stuff, and then knowing that they're having to deal with their professors and coordinators and hopefully, fingers crossed, that they understand and allow you to go. It's tough. So I give props to anybody who does that kind of sacrifice, whether it's work or school, to play bowls and to really follow their goals and their dreams. Like Owen here, it's not easy for anybody.
Yeah. Well, Owen, I personally don't have any more questions. I don't know if Darryl does.
No, I think I'm good. Owen, it's been an excellent interview.
Yeah, Owen, I thank you. I thank you a lot for coming on. You've been a guest who's been on the radar for sure, and I'm really happy that you were so gracious and came onto the show to chat with us today. I don't know if Owen, if you have any social medias you want to promote or anything.
No, I'm okay.
No? All right. Well, anyways, guys, make sure you keep an eye out for Owen Kirby. He's he already is, but he's going to be one of the next Canadian superstars in the sport. I really do mean that. He's great and he works hard and he's a good kid. Thanks a lot, Owen. And I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on. Honored. Thank you.
Thanks, Owen.
See you, pal.
See ya.